Hello. Hi, beautiful. I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to join and grab your pen and paper because we're going to do a Coolio process. And yeah, that's it really. Let me tell you a little bit about this before we start. I don't know if I need the glasses actually. Actually, that's much better. So I think I've been using this for over a decade, and it's one of my favorite processes because I've always loved Easter, because for me it represents, not even in a religious sense, but for me it represents a real death and rebirth. And whether you're religious or not, and I'm not particularly, I wouldn't even call myself spiritual. I'm a creator, baby. But, this is really a time where Christ consciousness is arising, and not in one person, but in everybody. So that's why I love Easter. I love, it was based on a pagan festival called Eostre, E-O-S-T-R-E. And it is, obviously, we're leaving the winter behind in the Northern Hemisphere. And we're shedding skin, like the snake, rebirthing into this new, powerful phase. And God, has there ever been such a powerful phase that we have moved through and that we are moving through? I don't know. And obviously, stating the obvious, as I like to do, not only are we all one, but it takes all of us to do the work, and to be the change we wish to see, but also to commit to our dreams and commit to being better than we were yesterday. No comparison with anyone else, but better than we were yesterday. And so many have had really challenging times, and my goodness, doesn't that make you stronger and help you to grow? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through a few questions, and whether you're intuitively trained, whether you've gone through my training or not, it doesn't matter. Just write whatever pops down, write it down, or you can actually tune in, okay? And for those of you who have been trained in tapping into your intuition in an accurate, tangible way, remember that all you need to do is so I'll ask the question and then step into that essence of the sparkle, the essence of innocence. And then imaginatively draw that golden circle in front of you and step into it and choose to receive a symbol embodying, the guidance, the answer to that question. You'll get a symbol. You could just get, an answer might pop. But basically then you write down what you got and then interpret it, as we always do in my intuitive programs and everything. And if you're not trained, that's absolutely cool. Just write whatever kind of pops into your head. But it's a really powerful process. Through my shamanic training, I've died psychologically a lot of times, in ayahuasca ceremonies or through really powerful processes where I was just left everything behind and come born into, a new phase, a new me, a new person. And it's hair-raising, but amazing. But this is a lot more gentle, but as powerful, okay? So grab your pens and pencils. Pens and pencils? Paper and pencils, or paper and pen. And so the first question is, where am I? Where am I now? If you were to be really real with yourself, what would you say? So obviously if you're trained in your intuition, then just get a symbol and write it down. But what we're doing is we're really allowing ourselves to be brutally honest with ourselves, because it's only when we're brutally honest with ourselves that change actually happens, you know, in terms of what negative beliefs may be playing out, how we stand in our own way, because we're the only one that ever stands in our own way. So that first question is, so where am I? Where am I now? So I'll give you a moment to jot that down. Where am I? You're kind of looking for the SH1T, you know, the grit that it takes to make the pearl, the pressure that it takes to make the diamond. So that's the first question. And the next question, B, is what did I create? So that could be in the last 6 months or the last 12 months. So what did I create? So write that down. And this is a really gorgeous one. If you have been trained in your intuition, this is where you start to see, oh, wow, okay. You know, it's really powerful to be able to just tap into your subconscious, your higher self, your innate wisdom, which is very often hidden away. When I did this earlier, I actually forgot that I was meant to be tuning into my intuition, and I wrote down all these like things, you know, that I've created, you know, these physical things, some quite 3D. And then I forgot, and I tuned into my intuition, and what I got was this image of me as like the what's that phrase? In the eye of the storm, you know, with all the craziness going on around me, and I'm like, boom, solid, you know, and I just got peace and calm, and also a really good sense of humor about the absolute craziness that's occurring in the world. Like, I've just been out now, and like the duality and the polarity is mind-blowing. It's a comedy out there, you know. So that's number B. What did I create? Did I give you another momentito? Okay, next question. My favorite question in the world. What would I love? What would I love? You know, you've said for the first question, where am I? You've answered that. And now, what do I love instead? You know, what do I want? And again, if you tuned into your intuition, get a symbol and interpret that. Let's see what your right brain, your heart is telling you. And I'm going to be starting a training soon for anyone who does want to be able to access their intuition, but in a really accurate, tangible way, rather than, oh, I had a feeling, or I had a gut instinct, or, oh yeah, like super powerful, accurate, tangible, which then allows you to just, you know, automatically be this magical, intuitive being, living your life from your heart, you know, taking your head along for the journey, but still. So what would I love? And I'll share a little example. I love this one because when I answered question A, I like the symbol that I got was me quite all these decisions and not sure which way to go, you know. And then when I tuned into this question, what would I love? I just got total clarity on what my heart would love and what my end result, one of my end results is, you know. It just takes all the noise and the chatter and the nonsense away. And that's also the beauty of being trained into your... Sorry, I'm banging on about being, trained in your intuition. That's the beauty of it, is that you're always reaping the treasure, reaping the gold, reaping the rewards, because obviously, we're never done. We're never complete. We're never there. And also we are, if we're in the moment, we are totally complete and totally always there. Confused, a bit of duality, polarity there maybe. Okay, so what would I love? Ask yourself that. And the next one, D. I'm not doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing A, B, C, D instead. D is, what have I learned? So this again can be in the last 6 to 12 months. What have I learned? What have I learned? And then the next question, E. What is it true to let go of or release? What is it true to let go of or release? And when I did this, it was interesting. I got a couple of emotions. It's interesting. What's true to let go of or release? Now, there's 2 more questions, okay? And some Easters, what I like to do is to actually leave it there and answer these 2 questions on Easter Sunday, the day of the resurrection, rebirth. But again, I was on the beach when I did this morning, and I totally forgot that, and I did answer them both. But if you can just hang with that tension and wait and answer these 2 questions on Sunday, then go with it. Go, do that, because there's a real beauty in tension. You see tension everywhere in nature. It's such a powerful force for creation. And this is also something I delve into in my trainings. So answer these questions now or wait until Sunday. And I'll tell you what the first one is. What is it true to create and allow into my life? So what is it true to allow into your life or to create? And that can be in the next 6 to 12 months. Just jot down a sentence or 2, or if you're trained in your intuition, get a symbol and interpret it, and just take yourself through all of those steps that you've been taught. And now the final. I'll recap all of these as well at the end, all the steps. So the final one, G, is the bridge. So what's the next step? Motivated by your heart. What's the action because obviously nothing happens without you taking action. So what's the next step, the action to take to create what you said you would love, what you said it's true for you to create, in that last question. And again, obviously, if you're waiting until Easter Sunday, just hang with this tension. I'm curious. Let me know who's going to hang. And if you're watching this on a replay, just wait a couple of days, because it's going out live on Good Friday. Yeah, and then Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so like 2 days. Or whatever you want to do, whatever kind of resonates for you. So what is the next step that you need to take? What's the action that you need to take? And this is another thing I teach in my trainings, how to... you're really now perfectionism, procrastination, problem with decision making, everything when you're trained in your intuition, because you're always able in a few seconds to tune into your intuition and get an accurate, tangible next step to take, in any moment, even in the midst of conflict. You can access your intuition and go, wow, this is what's playing out here, and boom, out of it. It's just... Can you see I'm such an evangelist for the intuition? and it really mucks, I wouldn't say the rude word, but it annoys me when people generally think the intuition is just this fluffy feeling, or this like, oh yeah, no, I thought, or I had a gut feeling, or I ignored it, which we normally do with our intuition, but not when you're trained in it, You become this magical, powerful being. Yeah, and it's one of the things I teach in my trainings. But deep alchemy, real allowing yourself to transform those really tough times and potential regrets from the past into your power. Okay, well done. So I'm going to just read out all the steps in case you joined late, or in case you want to just, use this or share this with someone else. Feel free to share this live or share these questions. So, A... where am I? What's happening in your life, in your world at the moment? B, what did I create in the last, say, 6 to 12 months? C, what would I love? What would my heart actually really love when I allow myself to dream, to really allow my heart and my limitlessness lead the way? D, what have I learned? So what have you learned in the last 6 to 12 months? I would imagine quite a lot. And E, what is it true to let go of or release? And F, what is it true to create and allow into my life? So what is true to create and allow into my life? And then the last one, G, for greatness. What's the bridge from where you are to where you want to be, to having created what you love? What's the next step, the action, motivated by your heart? Love it. Well done. Happy, fantastic rebirth. You are the phoenix rising out of the ashes of the old world. We're creating a new world of love. So, all the things you've written down that you want to create, choose them. Choose them. That's your commitment. Because when we're all living this kind of a life, living in our magnificence, living an intuitive, magical life, that's when the game changes. All right, aloha. I love you so much. We're coming through this. This is the rebirth of humanity. And you have got this. Okay, I love you. See you next time. I'll be going live again on Monday. A big aloha. Aloha. Bye now.